patch notes for Season 21 came out today, and this thing is huge. There's some little details in here not a lot of people are talking about, plus in detail exactly what happened to your favorite legend, whether they got buffed or nerfed. And I know you're thinking, dude, the balance changes got leaked, we already know. Well, I'm telling you right now, you just gotta trust me, there's a lot of specifics when it comes to cooldowns and different kind of durations for abilities that we have actual numbers on now, so you're gonna want to hear these. So let's just hop into everything we got. But the Wingman will be returning to the floor next season. The projectile size got reduced to pre-care package values, the damage was reduced also to 45, Skull Piercer Elite is removed, hipfire accuracy is reduced, it now takes the boosted loader hop-up, and no longer takes magazines as an attachment. In its place will be the Devo. It has new reverse hipfire, so sustained hipfire will tighten accuracy instead of widen. Damage increased from 16 as it was 15, magazine size increased to 54, and reserve ammo is 324. Empty reload time significantly reduced. We actually have footage of this thing, I have it somewhere, hopefully I'll put it on screen, and I mean, this thing looks terrifying. I remember the care package Devo like maybe 2-3 years ago, and that thing was scary. This thing with that hipfire accuracy is, oh my god, I mean, dude, that is the definition of a care package weapon. That thing is terrifying. Gold weapon rotation will be the Nemesis, the Triple Take, Peacekeeper, Prowler, and the Longbow. And a very nice change in my opinion, because I hate RNG. You're going to be able to get guaranteed weapons out of loot bins. The first loot bin opened by an unarmed player will always contain a weapon. The dev note reads, bringing Knuckles into a gunfight isn't the most engaging gameplay, so we're improving weapon acquisition consistency in the early game. When completely unarmed, opening a bin will guarantee at least a low tier weapon. So if you hot drop and got a P2020 or a weapon you don't like, you could just drop it, open another bin, and hopefully get something you like a car, maybe a Arthur 1 or a flatline. And we talked about this yesterday, but retrieving banners from death boxes. Collecting a banner will no longer lock the player out of critical gameplay actions. Running, shooting, punching, and reviving will all break out of the banner collect animation while still registering as a successful collection. Players can also immediately interact with the death box a second time while the animation is playing, or continue holding the interact button to collect and enter a death box in one flow. So literally, you can armor swap your teammates' death boxes now. I think we've all, for the past 20 seasons, have died to picking up a banner and not being able to grab a zipline, you know, pull out our gun, do literally anything because of that stupid animation. Another small change to the support bin, survival items now only spawn from a support bin tray if the team is in need. So how I'm assuming this is going to work, if you're not holding a supply item and your teammate who is a support legend opens one, they're going to probably spawn a heat shield, a mobile respawn beacon, or a jump tap. A couple changes to weapons, the Skull Piercer is being removed from the 30-30, the charge rifle got a slight change, the ADS recoil improved and stabilized, and the longbow got some significant changes. The Skull Piercer hop-up has been removed, barrel stabilizer attachment removed, base recoil significantly improved, projectile gravity reduced, and ADS in and out time reduced. So it's going to aim a little bit faster, kind of like the Sentinel does, but the dev note essentially about this longbow change is that they're just making it easier to, you know, become kitted, because you need a barrel, you need a mag, you need a Skull Piercer, you need a sight, you need a sniper stock. That's a lot of attachments for one gun. The Triple Take will also now be taking the boosted loader hop-up, which I think is pretty interesting. I've been seeing the Triple Take used a lot more, and I think that's going to be the new marksman weapon that people are going to be abusing. The Digi Threat is being removed from Apex entirely in Season 21, which if you've been watching leaks and videos of mine and others, you probably knew this already. And now for some of the legend specifics. If you've seen some of my preview shorts, you know most of these already, but there's a couple that I did miss, as well as we also know specific cooldowns and durations of certain abilities now after the perk rework, so you're going to want to listen up even if you think you know what you're talking about. So one of the ones I missed yesterday is that Ash will actually be able to throw her arc snare offhand, and this means that she can actually throw her snare while shooting her gun and ADSing all that stuff, which I think is going to be really nice, especially if you're running up on somebody with a shotgun or SMG. You're going to be able to throw the snare down and just start blasting. So as for Ballistic, the Whistler, the damage from a planted smart bullet was increased to 10 to 5. So the smart bullets that kind of just act as an area of effect, if you run into it, it's going to do 10 damage. And we already know about the new Slingshot perk, where improves Ballistic's base sling weapon to a blue set at level 2 and a purple set at level 3. I've seen a lot of people talking smack about this new perk for some reason, and I personally don't understand it. Because for me in Apex, I like to play close range, I like to run to people, but then you get into a fight where this team is holding you out and gatekeeping you from like 100 meters away, or you just can't really do anything because you're running car and Mastiff. So this would allow me, if I had like blue or purple armor, to pull out a, you know, a 30-30, a scout, a sentinel, whatever I have, I could have a, you know, another long range weapon in my sling to be able to fight back. This is a big nerf in my opinion. Bloodhound, especially after his pick rated LGS, him and Bangalore and Caustic were the most picked legends in the last split this past weekend, and Bloodhound is unfortunately getting the nerfs this time. Beast of the Hunt cooldown increased to 4 minutes, and it was 3 minutes. That's a pretty big deal. And also, Nox with ult no longer extend duration. And as for his perk upgrades, they got rid of the tactical cooldown, which means whatever, I think his, I don't know how long his scan duration is. I just hopped in the firing range. Every time you scan, it's going to be a 25-second wait instead of 20 now. And Taste of the Blood has a buffed HP gain on Nox to 50, was 25, and he has a new purple perk called Long Hunt, which Nox extend Beast of the Hunt duration. So the original ability that was in his kit has now been evolved into a perk. Catalyst getting getting a very fun buff. Piercing Spikes cooldown decreased to 20 seconds, as well as the long cast upgrade integrated into base tactical, so now she can actually throw her spiky balls farther. The Dark Veil length increased to 45 meters. Long Veil is moved to level 2, which means her new level 3 perk, which is awesome by the way, is called Pharaoh Door. You can fully rebuild and reinforce missing doors with passive. I've seen a clip of this, and literally she actually brings back the destroyed door. I'm not kidding. So a lot of the articles that I was reading didn't know what Caustic Changes were, but they knew for a fact he was getting a small change of some kind. Well, we actually finally know now. Gas damage and slow now stops immediately after Caustic Squad is eliminated. Now I can tell you this is amazing. You just wipe a Caustic Squad and that gas is still just lingering, and it's like, dude, their whole entire team's gone. Most abilities just go away after a squad's wiped, so why isn't Caustic's? Well, now it does, so thank God. So Conduit has a slight nerf. Radiant Transfer can no longer target Revenant when Forged Shadows is active. We talked about this the other day. I had comments saying, bro, this is such a dumb change, it's not even that bad. I'm like, you are the people that play Conduit Revenant, shut up. But Conduit actually does get a new perk. It's called Bat Pack. She can stack up to 3 shield batteries per inventory slot, and no, it doesn't stack with gold backpack. The amount of comments I got about that was actually hilarious. People thought they were going to be able to hold 4 batteries with gold bag. Nope. Basically, Crypto's network traffic upgrade is now integrated into base kit, which means whenever he throws his drone out, he's going to be able to see this number of squads in the area. So Crypto's first new blue perk is called Quick Ping, which is improved drone handling, and the network expansion perk, which was level 3, has now moved to level 2. So Crypto's new purple perks are satellite imagery, which drone scan persists for an additional 1.5 seconds, and what I think is the best one, Hackathon. Cut the drone cooldown in half and gain a speed boost anytime he uses his ult or the drone is destroyed. So in theory, you could literally just crypto ult somebody, and then you're going to get like a Bangalore double time speed boost to close the gap on your enemies. And we knew about Fuse getting access to ring consoles, but we didn't know the specifics of Scar Tissue, and here they are. It used to be take 50% damage and ignore slow effects, but now it's just take 20 damage and ignore slow effects from the mother load, so that's another small little buff for Fuse. Newcastle's changes are just nuts. We knew they were nuts already, but now that we have the specifics on cooldowns and how long these abilities last, you're gonna be a little mind blown. So the castle wall will be thrown 2.5 times faster, so we know that the castle wall will now destroy projectiles like a Watson pylon if it gets thrown out from the front. Now the castle wall energize duration has increased from 30 seconds to 1 whole minute, and with Newcastle's purple perk Stronghold, you can increase the energized duration from 1 minute to 3 minutes. Newcastle is really going to be strong next season. I'm not saying he's gonna break meta, I'm not saying he's gonna be in, ALGS, but I think they're trying to make these lower picked legends have a reason to be picked, and I love that they're doing that, because honestly it's so boring every game you play Apex. It's so boring every time you play Apex because you just see the same Wraith, Pathfinder, Octane, Valkyrie, Revenant. So giving buffs to characters with the less than 2% pick rate I think is just really important and fun. Octane got a super funny change in my opinion, where all of his jump pad perks are going to be on the right side, which is Mad Hops and Airborne Agility, and now his new perks are actually just going to be take 5 less stim damage for both perks. So it's just like, if you like stimming and you get the purple shield, you're going to be able to take 10 less damage every stim. So if that's worth it to you to not get an extra jump pad, then go for it. I just think that's a fun, it's very canon of Octane to have 2 of the same perk, which is less stim. I think that's hilarious. And some small changes for Watson that I didn't know about. Falling Stars, her perk Pylon will now stop spawning Arc Stars when her squad is eliminated, and the Split Circuit no longer reduces shield regen capacity in Wraith, and Wraith will be able to see enemies in the void just like Ashe and just like Alter. Another small piece of news is that Lockdown will be joining the Mixtape rotation. I personally didn't like Lockdown, I don't really play Mixtape anymore, but here's the rotation. If that interests you, I'm not going to talk about it much. And we do actually have a couple rank changes. All players in a pre-made rank squad must be within 3 rank tiers of each other, or they will not be allowed to progress to matchmaking. No tuning changes to be made to ranked, scoring for the launch of Upheaval. And as for the season reset, where you ended in your last season of ranked will determine how you start in Upheaval. If you ended up last season in Rookie, you'll be reset to 1 RP. If you ended your last season above Rookie, you will be reset to Bronze 4. As for a small bug fix, the Lifeline Mischief Medic skin is now going to be fixed, as I know a lot of people were commenting, when is that going to happen? And now you know. Let me know how you guys feel about Apex Legends Season 21 in the comments, and make sure you guys subscribe, because I'm going to keep you updated on absolutely everything. Good evening, good morning, good night, whenever you're watching. Thank you so much. My name's Griff, and I'm out.